Hello, guys. Welcome back to Invest with Dan. If you are new here, my name is Dan, and this is where we talk real money, real decisions, and real life. Today's topic has been on my mind for a while because I see so many people make this decision the wrong way and pay for it for years. Should you rent in a smaller, cheaper area to cut costs, or rent in a more advanced, connected area, even if it costs more? Both sides have strong arguments. Both sides have real risk. And today, I am going to give you the most honest breakdown of this topic you will find anywhere. Stay with me. Let us get into it.
Here is a question that has started more arguments than almost any other financial decision a young person makes. Should you rent a house in a smaller, less developed area to cut costs? Or should you rent in a more advanced, well-connected area even if it costs more? Everyone has an opinion, and most people are missing half the picture. Today we are laying out both sides honestly, correcting some dangerous assumptions, and giving you a real framework for making this decision based on your life. Let us start with the case for renting cheaper. The rent is lower in smaller areas. That is real. So the logic goes, rent somewhere cheaper, save the difference, build wealth faster. Sounds smart, sounds disciplined. But here is where the thinking breaks down. Rent is only one part of what living somewhere actually costs you. And the hidden costs in cheaper areas are ones that most people never calculate until they are already paying them. Hidden cost number 1: commuting. If you rent in a cheaper area, but your job is in an advanced area, you are now commuting. Fuel, transport fares, vehicle maintenance, time. Research shows that people in less developed and rural areas often travel significantly longer distances just to reach their workplaces. In many cases, the commuting costs cancel out or even exceed the savings made on rent. You saved $200 on rent. You spent $150 on transport. Your real saving is $50, and your time gone completely. Hidden cost number 2: essential services. The nearest decent grocery store is further away. Healthcare is harder to access, and in an emergency, limited options mean higher costs for what should be basic care. Hidden cost number 3: the service premium. Plumbers, electricians, and technicians often charge more to service less connected areas, not less. They travel further to reach you. They factor in that distance. So you save on rent and give some of it back every time something needs fixing. Now here is the hidden cost that most people underestimate the most. Relationships. At 30 years old, relationships are one of your most valuable financial assets. Here is real data most people do not know. Up to 80% of jobs are never publicly advertised. They are filled through connections, referrals, and networks. 70% of people got their current position through networking, not through a job application. There are doors that relationships will open for you that your skills alone cannot. When you relocate to a cheaper area, far from where opportunities are, you are not just saving on rent, you are quietly, gradually disconnecting from the network that your career and financial future depend on. The friend who mentions a business opportunity, the colleague who refers you for a promotion, the contact who invites you to an event, that changes your life. These things happen in proximity. They happen when you are embedded in an environment where people and ideas are moving, and when you are isolated in a cheaper area, not because you cannot afford better, but because you made a cost-cutting decision without seeing the full picture. You are trading connection for comfort. Connection, backed by real data, is one of the most powerful career and wealth-building tools available to any person. So before you choose the cheaper rent, calculate the full cost, not just what you pay monthly, but what you might not earn. what you might not meet, and what you might not become because of where you chose to live. Now, I want to be fair, because there is a genuine case for smaller and less developed areas, but it is a completely different case from what most people make. Most people rent in a smaller area to escape costs, but the people who actually benefit from smaller areas go there to find opportunities. Here is a truth that should reshape how you see underdeveloped places. Every developed area was once underdeveloped. Every city that is now expensive and advanced was once cheap and overlooked. The people who prospered were not always the ones who left. Sometimes they were the ones who stayed, saw the potential, and moved strategically. If you are going to live in a smaller area, go with a plan, not just a plan to spend less, a plan to build something. What does that look like? Land is undervalued in underdeveloped areas. In areas where infrastructure is starting to arrive, where population is slowly growing, where roads and services are being built, buying land early is one of the most powerful wealth-building moves available. The appreciation on land in emerging areas has created real wealth for ordinary people, faster than almost any other strategy. Local production is a real opportunity. In areas where demand exists but supply is limited, something as practical as poultry farming, small-scale agriculture, or local services can generate consistent income. In places where larger operators have not yet entered, the point is this: if you move to a smaller area, do not just go there to spend less. Go there to see what the area needs and what you can provide, because the person who spots an opportunity in an emerging area early and moves with intention can build something that pays them far more than any rent saving ever would. Now let us talk about the other side, renting in a more advanced, well-connected area. The obvious downside is cost. Rent is higher, daily expenses are higher, the financial pressure is real. But here is what that pressure actually does to a person when they respond to it correctly. Living in an environment bigger than your current reality forces you to grow. When your rent is high, you cannot afford to be mediocre. You cannot afford to stay comfortable. You cannot afford to miss opportunities. The environment itself creates urgency, and urgency channeled properly produces growth. Beyond the pressure, advanced areas give you access to information. When you are embedded in a professional, connected environment, you hear about investment opportunities, business ideas, and career openings through casual conversation that someone in an isolated area would never encounter organically. Access to relationships. People do business with people they see. People refer people they know. Physical presence in an active environment creates the kind of connection that distance simply cannot replicate. Access to infrastructure and amenities. Better healthcare, better services, better quality of life factors that affect your productivity and your long-term well-being. Now, the stress of advanced area living is real. Financial pressure and discomfort are real. But discomfort is not the same as damage. Pressure is not the same as harm. The discomfort of living slightly beyond your current comfort zone is the same discomfort that every person who has ever grown significantly has had to sit with. Advanced area plus financial discipline equals accelerated growth. Advanced area minus financial discipline equals accelerated debt. The area does not make you, your system does. So how do you actually make this decision? Both sides have merit. Both sides have real risks. Here is a practical framework. Step 1. Calculate the full cost of each option, not just the rent number. For the cheaper area, add up the realistic cost of commuting, services traveling to you, and accessing amenities from a distance. Then compare that total to the Rent in a more connected area. You may find the gap is much smaller than you thought. You may even find the cheaper area is not actually cheaper. When all costs are accounted for, do the full math, not just the headline number. Step 2. Assess your career and income stage honestly. If you work in a field where physical proximity to your industry matters, finance, tech, healthcare, media, creative industries, the case for being near that ecosystem is strong. The opportunities you access by being present are real and well documented. If you work in a field where remote work is fully viable and your income does not depend on local networking, the calculus changes. You have more freedom to optimize for cost. Know your field. Know what your career actually requires. Step 3. Assess your goals for the next 5 years. If your goal involves entrepreneurship and developing opportunities in an emerging market, a smaller area with land and local market potential may genuinely be the right move. If your goal involves climbing a career ladder, building a professional network, or accessing opportunities that require proximity, an advanced area likely serves you better. Your living situation should serve your goals, not the other way around. Step 4, and this is the most important one. Stop making financial decisions out of fear. Many people choose the cheap area, not because they have done the analysis and it makes sense, but because they are afraid. Afraid of the rent, afraid of the financial pressure, afraid of living in an environment bigger than where they are right now. And many people choose the advanced area, not because they have a plan, but because they want the lifestyle and the feeling of a bigger environment. Both of those are fear-based or emotion-based decisions. The decision should be strategic, based on your goals, based on your numbers, based on your career stage, and based on an honest assessment of what each option actually costs and what it actually produces. Fail forward rather than not deciding. But failing forward means making a calculated, thoughtful decision, not an impulsive one dressed up as boldness. Analyze your goals carefully. Do not act too quickly, but do not stay paralyzed either. Because here is the truth that ties all of this together. The most expensive place you can ever live is inside a decision made purely out of fear. Take your time, do the full analysis, choose based on your goals, not your comfort zone, not your fear, not what looks impressive. And once you decide, commit to making it work, because any environment can be made to work by the right person with the right plan. Let me bring it all home. The debate between renting in a small area versus renting in an advanced area does not have one universal answer, but it has a universal principle. Every financial decision you make should be made with your eyes fully open, not just to the rent number, but to the full picture, the hidden costs, the opportunity costs, the relationship costs, and the long-term trajectory that each choice sets you on. If you choose the smaller area, go with intention. Look for the opportunity in that environment. Buy land in emerging areas. Start a local business. Position yourself ahead of the development that is coming. If you choose the advanced area, go with structure. Have a financial system in place. Know exactly where your money is going. Build the relationships and access that justify the premium you are paying. And above all, stop running away from your fears and dressing it up as financial wisdom. Because the truth is, the most expensive place you can ever live is inside a decision made purely out of fear. Analyze your goals carefully. Do the full calculation. Consider the full picture, not just the number on the rent receipt. And then decide, not based on what feels safe, not based on what looks impressive, based on where you are going and what each option actually does to get you there. That is how you make this decision right.
And that is the full picture. No one size fits all answer, but a framework you can actually use. Before you make this decision, do the full calculation, not just the rent, the total cost, the opportunity cost, the relationship cost, and what each option does for your goals over the next 5 years. That is how you make this decision right. If this video helped you think differently, please like it, share with someone who is facing the exact question right now, and subscribe if you have not already. New content every day, all designed to help you make smarter money decisions. I'll see you in the next one. Stay intentional, stay building.